Okay, we're going to talk about graphing some of these parent functions with some shifts, horizontal and vertical shifts. So our first equation here, y equals x minus 2 squared plus 1. And we notice that this is going to be the horizontal shift. And it's going to be the opposite sign, so the horizontal shift, I can mark that as going to be positive 2. I usually just call that HS. And that's going to be 2, and this is the vertical shift, and that's going to be 1. And then the shape equation is everything without the shift, so we take that out, and we just have y equals x squared. That's our shape equation, and that's going to be consistent with all these graphs. There may be a change of a negative, and there be maybe a 2 or a 1/2 or something like that in front, but this is the basic shape. So this is where we use our table of values here, and I usually use these values for x squared. 0 squared is 0, negative 1 squared is 1, 1 squared is 1, negative 2 squared is 4, 2 squared is 4. So those are going to give me my basic points after I take care of the shift. So I'll find my center point. I'll mark that in red. Well, that's my shift point. So I usually start at 0. I start at 0, 0, and I'm going to go 2 to the right because it's a positive. Remember, it's the opposite sign, same sign. So it's a positive 2. So positive will be 2 to the right and up 1. That's my vertical shift. So there's my new 0, 0, I would say. Okay? 2 to the right, up 1. And then from here, I just use my table of values for my shape equation. And negative is either to the left or down, and positive is to the right or up. So this is negative 1, up 1, so I'm going to go 1 to the left and up 1. And this is positive 1, up 1, so I'm going to go 1 to the right and up 1. And then I'm going to go 2 to the left, up 4 from this new shift point. 2, 1. 1, 2, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go positive 2, 2 to the right, up 4. 1, 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are my 5 key points, and that pretty much gives you the shape of your parabola, your x squared. It's just shifted. So you make sure this is smooth down here, kind of like a little bowl. Kind of use a pencil because sometimes you have to erase it because it's kind of hard to maybe draw some of these, and I can go up kind of like this. And that's just going to keep going up and up and up. So there you go. It's as easy as that. Let's take a look at another one. And this is going to be y equals x plus 1 squared minus 3. So my horizontal shift is going to be opposite sign. So my horizontal shift, HS, will be negative 1. My vertical shift will be negative 3. And my shape equation is the same. Without the shift, I just have y equals x squared. Well, I don't really need to do another table of values because I've got one over here that's for the same, so I can use those tables. So first of all, I find my new 0, 0, and that's going to be negative 1, 1 to the left, and down 3. So I'm going to go 1 to the left and down 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be like this. Usually do that in red, excuse me. And then I'll take my points. So I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to go negative 1. So I'm going to go down, 1 to the left, up 1. And 1 to the right, up 1. And then I'm going to go 2 to the left, up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 to the right, up 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's your parabola. Here's your no 0, 0. Your shift point was going to be at negative 1, down 1, 2, 3. So there you go. And then just connect it. It's going to basically be the same shape. It's just going to be translated. We say that's a translation. It's a combination of horizontal and vertical shifts. And that's going to keep going up, so I'm just going to put a couple arrows there because I don't want to keep drawing it up there. And you have to make this like a little dish, like a little bowl, so it's rounded. So be very careful, don't make it like a point. That's why it's nice to use a pencil, so you can kind of, maybe you might have to erase it a little bit, and then you can draw your key points in ink because those won't change, but your shapes, sometimes it's a little bit harder to make that like a nice round dish. And these have to keep going out. This was a little bit bad over here, so I can fix it a little bit. That's why we use a pencil. So it's symmetrical. It's very symmetrical. Remember, the axis of symmetry is right down the middle. It goes right through the vertex. And it would be symmetrical on both sides of that. Okay? And let's try one more for this video. We could do some more complicated ones a little bit later. But for right now, this should be a good basic idea of what's going on. So now we have a negative in front. So we'll take care of that in the shape equation. But let's look at the shifts. And we've got a horizontal shift of opposites. So it's going to be -2. Remember, it's opposite sign. Same sign. Vertical shift of +3. So opposite sign, same sign. Now my shape equation could be a little bit different. Y equals -x squared. That's everything without the shift, and that's how you're going to get the shape of your curve. So I use the same numbers over here that I use: 0, -1, 1, -2, 2, and 0 squared is 0. -1 squared is 1, but it's got a minus, so it's going to be a -1. 1 squared is 1, but with a minus, it's going to be -1. -2 squared is 4, but with a minus, it's going to be -4. And 2 squared is 4, but with a negative in front, it's going to be -4. So if I square something, it's always going to be positive. So if I put a negative in front, that's always going to be negative. So now I find my 0, 0. This time I'll do it in red like I'm supposed to. So it's going to be -2. So that's going to be 2 to the left and up 3. 1, 2 to the left, up 1, 2, 3. And there's my 0, 0, or my new vertex. Okay. Try a different red here. There we go. Okay. That's right there. And then my other key points. I'm going to start over here. And, sorry, those are my cats. They're running around because I'm in their little room doing my videos today. Anyway, I'm going to go 1 to the left, down 1. So 1 to the left, down 1. And 1 to the right, +1, -1, down 1. 1 to the right, down 1. And this is all from the new 0, 0, which is the shift. Determined by these points. And then I'm going to go 2 to the left, 1, 2, and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 to the right, +2, and down 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are your 5 key points. You see it just kind of flipped upside down. And then we're going to connect that. Now remember, make it kind of rounded here. This is the tricky part. So make that rounded. So it's like a little arch there. And then bring it down to the other points. Slightly curved. No straight lines. These are all curves. And there you go. And just use a pencil to fill that in. Once you have your key points, that's going to really determine the shape. Okay? So those are 3 pretty good examples, I think, to get the ball rolling. And that's going to be our parent function off of our parent function, y equals x squared.